Hey there everybody, Eric from Outer Limitless coming at you today with another video. Now today's video is going to be just a little bit different than videos I've put out in the past. Now this is, granted, another review video, but at this point there's something just a little bit different. My studio is being fully illuminated by Thorfire flashlights. So these are all products that I have reviewed in the past. And right now I have my studio lit up quite nice in preparation for a review of 3 very nice camp lanterns. Now just returning my studio back to normal lighting conditions. The reason why I started my video that way is to demonstrate the fact that I have had some substantial use with Thorfire products. Now these are products that I have used literally on an everyday basis in some cases. I mean, a couple of these flashlights I've carried at length, and overall I have to say I am very happy with Thorfire quality. These are products that the more and more I get my hands on them, the more and more I realize they are a high quality product at a good price, and in that regard that gives you high value. And with that said, I have 3 lanterns here that we're going to take a look at. Each of them have a slightly different style and in my mind a slightly different purpose, but I have 3 of them here to show you today. And let's get into the details. And if you'd like to see a little bit more about these Thorfire products, do me a favor. Stay tuned. So here we have the Thorfire CL01, the CL04, and the CL06. What the? So real quick, let's take a closer look at this CL06. It is very interesting where this light actually has a daylight sensor in it. So if it's picking up my studio lights right now, it's actually off, even though this light is in the on position. So let's just say, for example, you have your light on at night and the sun starts to come up. Well, guess what's going to happen? The light's going to turn off. But at night, when it gets dark again, the light goes on. So overall, it's a pretty interesting feature. Now, I'm not sure quite yet if that's something that I enjoy or is just a little bit difficult. I mean, right now there's plenty of light for me to do what I need to do sitting here at my desk, but let's just say I wanted a little bit more, and I just wanted to cast that a little bit of extra light. You know, this is a little bit limited where ultimately, I feel as though I need to put something on here probably to shield the sensor so that the light will turn on, but it is innovative, and it's kind of the first light, in my opinion, from what I've seen that really does this. So my initial impression of this, just right off the get-go, is that this light is unique, has an interesting feature, but it's just something that I'm just not sure right now if it's useful or not. But even with that said, this light does appear to be very nice, high quality. Here it's basically a hanger on the top, so it gives you the ability to hang this light pretty much where you need it. You'll see the solar panel going around the ring on the outside. Now this is protected by a plastic shield. I kind of was tugging on it a little bit to see if that would come off. I didn't want to go too crazy, so I really didn't. There it is, turning on. So I really didn't go too far with it, but it is gasketed beneath there, so really tries to be a little bit in the way of water resistant, which is nice. It has a cool color. I like the bright orange. I like it against the black with sort of that white lens. This is just literally a lens, so you can thread that off on the bottom. So here you will see the LED, and that's pretty much like a diffuser lens. So this threads on here relatively easy. It's durable, it feels strong and stout, it's good solid quality plastic. So nothing on this feels cheap, feels very solid, and overall is actually a pretty nice piece. Now this lantern charges with solar power only. That's either a pro or a con, but I will leave that decision up to you. Now while the lantern is charging, you'll see it has a red light on the LED. You find the LED by removing the diffuser. That was a little bit confusing to me at first. The directions did say to find a red light while the unit was charging, and I couldn't find it for the longest time. But finally, removing the diffuser, I did find that LED light, and for the most part it stayed lit. It does dim when you turn the lantern from side to side when the solar panels don't get direct rays from the sun. So when you set this up to charge, make sure you're getting good, strong, direct light directly on those solar panels. Now, one of the downfalls I do see to this is it is not compact at all. So if you're going to use this for backpacking, it is going to be just a little bit on the bigger side. For me, I would never pack this in my bag. It's taking up too much space, but maybe you could find a way to kind of hang it on the outside of your bag where it's not really going to take up too much room inside your pack. It's not overly heavy, but I don't necessarily see this being a choice for somebody who's into lightweight or ultralight backpacking. Now, it's ideal for your car camper, an excellent option for car camping for sure. And even if you're going camping to a place that's not really a far location, it does give you a nice quality light, and the fact that it is solar powered should work pretty good if you're going in some nice weather. Now, like most flashlights, just typical where you have multiple modes. I'm going to tip it this way to ignore the lighting sensor here. So again, you have multiple modes. Press it once, turns on. Again, that's medium. Again, that's high. And then you press it one more time and it turns off. So 1, 2, 3, and off, which I like. No specialty modes, none of that funny stuff getting in the way in the middle of your primary cycling through the basic functions. And giving you just another look at this real quick. 1, 2, 3. So that's what it looks like as you take a look at it without the diffuser. So this is a little more directed light here. Gives you just a nice wide spread. It's kind of a globe on the bottom here. So it does diffuse the light reasonably nice and actually diffuses it less. It's a little more direct and a little bit brighter without this diffuser, but it's not quite as soft a glow. So now you'll see a nice even glow with the diffuser. And pulling it off just a little bit harsher, but nice and bright without it. And moving on to the CL04, you'll see 1, 2, 3. Gets you into a specialty mode. For me, a little bit of a miss on this. I personally don't think I would ever use a camp lantern to need to signal for help or anything like that. So I would like to see a typical camp lantern kind of omitting that specialty function, or potentially needing to double press into it or long press into a different mode. But overall, having a low mode and a high mode works pretty well. Now you'll see this is an accordion style sort of baffle in the middle, and then an LED on the top. This gives you sort of a dispersed light, but then also a directional light coming off of the top of that, and this can be fully compressed into a smaller package, which is very nice. This also has the ability to hang this up, which works out quite well. And then again, if you have this in the diffused mode, basically being able to hang with a little spotlight coming down and a nice even glow off to the sides. So overall, a nice small little light. This is 2 different methods for charging. One is solar charging, the other is a micro USB. So giving you a couple of different options on how you can charge the CL04. Which leaves me with the CL01. So very similar in design to the CL04, looks almost exactly the same, a slightly different color and a slightly different function. But first, going through the modes, one press low, another press high, and then a third press, and that goes off. So this does not necessarily have that specialty mode, which I like, and I'm okay with the fact that it just has a low and a high. It's a lantern, it's a camp light, it doesn't need crazy function to me. This is perfect and has the exact modes that you need for appropriate lighting in multiple scenarios. Again, that accordion baffle on the side and your LED on the top, so you get that diffused light and also the spot coming down. And if you want to collapse this, it goes into a nice contained package. And then this has 2 means of charging. One, again, being that USB, micro USB charger on the side, but then another method, which is pretty cool, is actually a hand crank. So this would work out well for a situation where maybe you don't have very good conditions, you don't have maybe power available to you, you don't have a battery bank, there's cloud cover and you just need some light. Well, this is good. A little manual labor sometimes is okay, and to give you some light when you need it, that to me is definitely a benefit. So this seems to be a pretty cool light to me, where it's nice and compact, has the USB chargeability, which is excellent if you bring a power bank or a charger with you, but then also having that hand crank as a last-ditch effort is definitely a plus. Now, just as the CL04 has the ability to hang, the CL01 does as well. So nice and easy little function there. Pretty simple overall design. Nothing to it. Folds away and gets out of your way. Nice and compact. Excellent. Now, the other benefit that you get out of the CL04 and CL01 is that these are also, in essence, kind of like a power bank. Now, this comes with a USB cable that you can simply plug in, and when attaching it to a device, you can see here that I am generating power. Now, it's hard to say exactly how this is going to work. 2 hours and 49 minutes until fully charged. I mean, that's not going to do me very good, but I do have 61% of my battery. Let's see if I can get it to at least go up 1%. Hard to say. However, you can also do this again with the CL04. And at that point, you do have the solar power, so you could get at least some charge out of here. Now, I haven't tried it yet, and I can't tell you exactly how effective it is going to be, but I would say that that is a benefit to these two particular models. So the batteries in these are only like a 300 milliamp hour battery, so you're certainly not going to get a full charge on your phone with just the device, without it sort of solar charging and without cranking. But 300 for something like a Samsung Galaxy, something around that size, is roughly about 10%. So you could, in theory, at least get 10% of your battery back by plugging it into one of these lanterns. Now, all in all, which one of these is for me? Well, although I really do appreciate the innovation and the unique style and look of the CL06, I think having that sort of daylight sensor could be a little bit of a miss. Again, I'm just not sure. I don't really know. But overall, the bulkiness of this could get in the way. So I'm a little bit torn, a little conflicted in my mind. I appreciate this. I think it's interesting. I do overall like it. I think it has its application for sure. And if you're bringing this car camping, this would definitely be my choice. But what if you're going backpacking, deeper into the woods, deeper into the mountains? You want to bring something a little bit smaller but still has an ample amount of light. Well, either one of these would be a great choice. I think it's really hard to say which way to go. It's really a personal preference thing and what you think you'll be bringing to the table and what situation you're walking into. If you think you're going to have a nice day looking for a little bit of solar power, maybe you don't necessarily have your charger with you, but you just kind of want to get a little bit of juice, spin this thing around, get yourself some daylight, a little bit of sun, and you get yourself a lantern at night. But maybe you're in a cloudy situation, you don't mind a little bit of manual labor, and you just want that safety backup. Well, having this hand crank is certainly a possibility. Maybe you're not even using this for backpacking, and you have it for kind of a sketchy situation, like a survival situation or something where you have a power outage. Well, this might be an option for you. So either one of these, in my mind, you could go kind of either way. But for me, where the CL04 does have that specialty mode, I just don't like it or need it. It's just a miss for me. I like having the simplicity of just the two modes and the ability to pop this on low or high. So that's a personal preference thing altogether. I'm just kind of showing you the difference, the pros and the cons, so that you can make an educated decision. So alright guys, thanks for stopping by. I hope you like what you saw. I hope you found it a little bit informative. If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for stopping by. Take care now. I'll see you soon.